So, if anything, we actually got Mumei's kind of past revealed. We actually now understand how she was turned into Kabaneri, and since she wasn't actually built by Kabane, now we understand she was actually injected by something that turned it into this Kabaneri. So that was actually the nicest thing they actually done this whole entire episode. They actually revealed us that. But the reveal at the end of Biba maybe being his antagonist wasn't the biggest kind of twist in the universe. I don't need to sit here and tell you, I was like, oh my god, like, I didn't see that one coming. Like, it was one of those evident twists from a mile away, because when he said to Ayame, okay, look, we'll actually come with you to Kongo, at that scene, when it's like to cut to the break, you can see in his face, he's got the face of, I will betray you in 10 seconds, do not trust me, I am a force to be reckoned with. And really, in the end, you kind of do see that, in a sense, he's really not that person you can trust, because his, like, actual, like, kind of train does have Kabane on it. Plus, there's some kind of heart in the middle of it that's actually really controlling, in a sense. Is that the essence of where he actually can turn people into Kabaneri? Is that it? But I really want to know the backing behind what turned him into this, and since we really don't understand much about his past, and since we only understand something did happen in that battlefield 10 years ago, and also he was actually disowned by the Shogun. That's all we kind of know about his character. There isn't much else about him that we understand. So really the major thing for me is why he was turned into this kind of person, since was he actually betrayed, was he disowned by his actual dad because he must have done something like really, really grave. Did he do that? Is that the case? I'm not too sure, but that's kind of the most interesting thing for me. That's really the most interesting part of going forward, anything else, because really, the whole reveal was kind of like, oh. And Chitori Station getting attacked was kind of depressing as well, because really that was the beacon of hope for everyone else. That really was the place they can actually kind of call home for a bit. It's for a day, but really was that kind of nice salvation point. It getting attacked was kind of depressing. I was like, oh. Really, that's not really nice. But still, overall, I must say, it was a good episode. Like, that's one of the main thing for me. It's a really good episode. We kind of got Mumei's character explained. We now understand how she was turned into a Kabaneri. But the main thing for me really also was she kind of went like back and forth between Ikoma's group and Biba. And essentially really kind of went from back and forth like constantly. In the sense, if we really think about it, as soon as Biba came to the picture, she went back with him. But for me, I kind of feel he's controlling. He's that kind of controlling type. He isn't the kind of character which I can honestly say, well, he's a good brother, because in essence, we actually understand he's actually not her brother, but she's allowed to call him brother. But the major thing is he's kind of controlling. Since when he kind of like wakes her up after having her body checked, he says, "Oh, can you get the master key for me?" And he kind of says, "Well," she says, "Ayame's got it," and he's like, okay, so is she more powerful than you? Can she defeat you? And I thought to myself, when you think about it, the major thing for him, he uses that against her. He uses the whole idea of being weak, because she doesn't want to be seen as weak. She doesn't want to be seen below anyone else. So if Biba constantly uses that fact, he can actually control her in that way. And in essence, I kind of thought to myself, he's not a good character. He's not a good person, because he uses this whole idea of being weak. And since when she sees her mother dead, he says, "Oh, if your mother sort of survived, if she wasn't weak." I was like, okay, so just he says, "Be strong, don't rely on anyone else." I thought to myself, okay, so at least he actually reveals that. But it's just, he is that kind of controlling type, in the sense he can use that thing against Mumei, and Mumei are constantly following. In a sense, she doesn't want to be seen as weak. And when she actually goes to actually kind of take that master key away from Ayame, you see in that scene, she says, "You will never be able to defeat me." It's that whole idea. She's trying to prove her worth to Biba. She's trying to prove that she isn't weak. She isn't this character that can actually be seen as weak. She is stronger than this. That's what I kind of see about Biba's character. Biba's character really is this. He's able to control her by using the fact of, look, you don't want to be seen as weak, so just don't be weak. And since will she be able to defeat you? And I thought to myself, I don't know. This movement's kind of going back and forth between them, and in the end, she says to Akoma, because Akoma just questions her about what's going on with that Kabane room, in the sense basically saying, well, he has Kabane in that kind of room, what's going on? And she says, "You don't understand me with my brother. I'm staying with my brother." I thought to myself, if anything, that group kind of did do a lot more for you than your brother's doing at the moment, so why would you go with them? But I mean, in essence, maybe because it's her brother, and she sees him as a brother, and so she actually just goes to him because it's a family member. Granted, it's not really kind of family, but she sees him as family, because she's really acting nice to him in the beginning. She doesn't really see him as kind of a bad guy, in essence. Really, I need to know more about what's going on behind there, because that's the most interesting thing, is what's going on behind closed doors, what's actually going on in front. Since in front, yes, there's interesting parts, but there isn't that much interesting going on. And since really what's going on behind closed doors, really what get me interested, I really want to know what really did happen before, because Inoku actually dies in this episode as well, because what happens is that group of people that actually weren't going to betray Biba actually kind of get killed Like, we actually see him get killed in a sense. Basically, he says, "Oh, don't! It wasn't me. It was a Shogun." Basically, Anoku basically kind of plead with Biba, saying, "Look, if you want me to tell you who did it, I will tell you." But he goes, "I have no use for you," and he kills him. I was kind of like, okay. I was like, okay, well, that happened. I was like, freaking damn hell. I was like, you don't waste time. And in essence, you actually see him smiling as well. So it kind of makes you realize there's more going on with his character. He's kind of broken, but I want to know more about him because Akome doesn't trust him. Akome's that kind of character who really doesn't know how to feel about him. He doesn't know what to say. Well, he's a freaking good character. He doesn't really believe in the whole idea and the whole notion that Biba believes that weak deserve to die. He doesn't believe that notion. He doesn't actually believe that Mume should be taught that kind of idea. He doesn't actually really like it. But I guess in essence, maybe Ikome's right. We shouldn't actually trust this person because in the end, yes, he is this evil dude. At that very last shot, it kind of just proves to you that yes, you should not trust this character. He is this kind of character that will be the bad guy. He will be the antagonist. But there has to be more to his character than we're getting right now, which explains why he's like this. In essence, I need to know why the Shogun wants him dead, what he did to the Shogun to actually have this happen, but something happened 10 years ago. Really, that's the main thing that's kind of grabbing me about this anime. What really did happen at Battlefront? Hopefully I do explain it, because we've got 4 weeks left, and yeah, if anything, Araki really, kind of scares me when it comes to these kind of things. When it's time constraints, Araki kind of just makes you go realise that, I don't want him to mess it up, because his anime's been freaking great so far. I just don't want him to mess it up. I just kind of sit here realising that maybe one day we're just gonna go. I just don't know, because 12 episodes to explain the entirety of the situation isn't the greatest amount of episodes to do it in. Plus, we also have the whole idea there's not season 2 being announced, so I'm not too sure what's going to happen unless maybe Amazon Prime takes it out completely and distributes it through them. We're not too sure, but either way, I still want to see how it ends, because so far, it's been freaking great. Biba's reveal, yes, it's conventional, but I didn't really go into this anime expecting this kind of Evangelion kind of twist. No. As I said previously, you don't really go into Tetsuya Araki animes with deep narrative structure. That's the one thing you should always kind of admit as soon as you go into his kind of animes. His animes don't have that. Yes, sometimes they do. Sometimes they have complex themes, but sometimes they're explored and they kind of fail at points. But if anything, you kind of go in it for the action. The action was freaking damn great. The motorcycle bit was like, whoa, freaking hell. I was like, this is pretty interesting. But that's the main thing. Araki animes don't have deep, complex narratives. They're just animes which are kind of popcorn entertaining. He is Michael Bay of Japan for a reason, because literally his things have massive amount of explosions. You don't really go in for deep narratives, but if anything, his animes are interesting. They do have interesting worlds, and the way they explore those ideas are kind of interesting, but sometimes it tends to fail in between. It tends to get put underneath the rug of explosions. We need explosions. We don't need character development in anything. We just got Mume's character fleshed out as the main thing. But yeah. So with all that said, I have been the driver. If you leave a like, do leave a like. It doesn't cost a bit. Leave a sub. Do leave a sub. It doesn't cost a bit. But with all that said, I have been the driver. And I will see you guys later.